All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Toronto Mounties. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go. If he puts you out low, check, watch 54. Yeah.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Cook. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. 3rd and 2, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. It's Kelsey on the ground. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Flushed it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, with the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd and inches, Newton eluding the pressure right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And a huge play that time. And even 60 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we...
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. 15 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here's Jackson to throw, and he's got his man. That's Landry. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. From the gun, it's Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was the linebacker, Devin White, there to knock it away. 2 seconds to go, first quarter.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Jackson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Check 52.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Newton. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then curls back inside for the complete.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jannard Avery able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be.
And the pressure gets to him again. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Taking it about the 36. Now a hit and a loose football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now left side on the swing pass. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Squeeze, double. Shift.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check. Watch 54.
From the gun, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson now. And that's complete to Adams.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
To throw is Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Sean Bunting. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. To throw is Newton. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Being chased out left. He'll try and run it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on 1st down. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he loses the football a 2nd time. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The 2nd quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
I got it. Check 20. Check hot route. Hot.
From the red zone now, Newton. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a light.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the 2nd half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the 2nd half.
And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the Rick.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Gun. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Newton. And it's caught. Touchdown. Antonio Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Now Jones. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Don't get nervous.
They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A carry for Adams. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's taken in by Callaway. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns get a score closer.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Second and 11 at the 26-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check 8. Check 3, check 3, check. What is?
From the gun, here's Newton. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Newton now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Gun. Look at him.
Off play action. Newton. Forced out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete.
Newton on the keeper. Incomplete on the throwaway.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Welcome back to Toronto, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
Now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
3rd and 2, here's Jackson. And he finds Cook. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Again, Jackson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Down.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Mike 54.
Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Landry, the intended target. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that'll increase their lead to 28. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Watch 54. You can't block me.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And this is Cook with a grab. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now it's Jackson. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And Jackson throwing once more. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Now Jackson over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And it's a fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll go again to Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Hey, 180, 51.
It's been a long day for you.
And they will take a knee here.
Newton on the keeper.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the home team here, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for